Hi, it's Hava, and my guest today is Israeli author Ed Truitt. Ed has written a novel titled Golan. Ed, could you give us a little of your background, please?
Hi. Well, thanks, Leah. I'm a former Denverite, which is why I'm here at Aaron's bookstore. And I made aliyah to Israel 7 years ago, and I live in Jerusalem. I'm currently a science writer for the Weizmann Institute of Science, and I like to write. And so I decided a couple years ago to write about a subject that interests me, and that's what's happening next in Israel. I wrote about Golan. This book is based in the Golan Heights, which is the area I fell in love with many years ago. And the scenario is briefly, what if the 1973 war happened again, only this time it began with a little nuclear counterpunch, where Iran, who's been working on a nuclear bomb for many, many years now, a few years in the future decides to do an electronic nuclear bomb. This is a bomb that explodes high above the atmosphere, and the electronic pulse, the electromagnetic radiation from this, basically disables everything electronic in Israel, from the power grid to every computer, every phone, every microchip. Imagine Israelis without their cell phone. You've got a glimpse of the chaos that would happen.
Definitely.
And it's a fascinating scenario, and it's kind of a what-if book. What if it happened? And I set this book in the Golan Heights, an area I considered living in and will still consider, because it's beautiful and it reminds me of Colorado very much. The story centers around a moshav up there. It's got an interesting cast of characters. I don't have any super macho superheroes that can, karate punch everyone that's around. It's about ordinary people and how they cope. Having set the scenario, I'll take the next 450 pages getting Israel out of the problem. It's an interesting book. It's got kind of some eco-twists. It's a very religious book. It's got Zionist and Dati perspectives in it. And I think someone who's looking for an action-adventure story that's different and it's going to get them thinking, this is a good book for them to read.
How long did it take you to write this book?
This was about 1.5 years in the making. Considering I was working full-time, that's pretty quick for a book. And actually, the half the year was the final edits and getting it just so. So actually, the bulk of the book was written in about 1 year flat.
All right. Well, who would be interested in reading this? I know I'm going to read it. You've already got my attention on it. So, but who out there, would enjoy reading this type of book?
This is a book for anyone who loves Israel. If you want to know what's happening in the future of the world, look at Israel. Israel's always the leader. It's always the canary in the coal mine. They say everything in the Middle East is about Israel. It's wrong in one sense, but it's very right on another sense. So if you love Israel, if you care about Israel, if you care about the future of Israel and the Jewish people, then this is a thoughtful book that I think will get you thinking, and I think it's also a very good read. It's a real page-turner. It kept a friend of mine up all night, and he hasn't forgiven me since. So, danger, once you get past the first 10 pages, you're hooked. So, thanks a lot.
All right. Well, Ed, thank you for being here today. And Golan is available at Aaron's Jewish Books in Judaica in the Mile High City of Denver, or please check the drop-down menu for ordering a copy.